The Battle of Camp Bastion. A series of reports by Anthony C. Hayford, a British Army veteran of Afghanistan and a witness to the Taliban's 2012 attack on Camp Bastion. Part 1. The attack. At about 8 p.m. on Friday, the 14th of September 2012, 15 Taliban Special Forces attackers wearing U.S. military uniforms began their final approach to Bastion's airfield perimeter.
Before the sun rose the next morning, they'd killed 2 U.S. Marines, wounded 17 NATO personnel and decimated a squadron of 8 Harrier jump jets. Total damage was estimated at $400 million. They came perilously close to achieving their publicly stated priority mission to kill Prince Harry too. It was a warning our commanders managed to ignore despite the world's media splashing the Taliban's orders on their front pages on the Monday before the Friday night attack.
They staged their attack on the northern outskirts of Nawabad village, and in the vicinity of the 600 metres of unsecured earthworks that ran from a public road in the valley besides the airfield right up to Bastion's defences. My view that summer was from Guard Tower 11, marked here on the airfield's southeastern corner. My last guard duty in Tower 11 was on the 7th of September. These photos show my view that day very clearly. These are guard towers 12 and 13, and this is where the unsecured earthworks meets the public road. I'd seen multiple indicators of an impending attack, and those earthworks looked like the closest thing possible to an open door for any aspiring attackers to use, but my commanders repeatedly dismissed my concerns, telling me don't worry so much, and don't worry, Mohammed Daoud controls this valley. I will detail those multiple concerns in part 2 of this series. Back to the fence breach point of the 14th of September, the one surviving attacker told interrogators that took them about 2 hours to move from their drop-off location to our perimeter. This close-up shows the airfield perimeter, the public road, and the unsecured earthworks in between the two. The surviving attacker described using a gully to hide their final approach from the towers to the north, and they will have been hidden from the southerly towers by the unsecured earthworks. The tower closest to the breach point, marked here, was unmanned. Having gained access to our defences undetected, the attackers breached the fence with bolt cutters, as shown in this Taliban training video. This image from the US investigation shows the exact breach point. The culvert drain seen in the photo can also be seen on the satellite view. The surviving attacker said that as they entered the base, a torchlight was shone towards them from Tower 17. This information proves 2 things. The British Commonwealth Tongan soldiers in Tower 17 were extremely alert and had detected some disturbance at the fence. And 2. The Tongan soldiers did not have night vision equipment to monitor the fence, an equipment deficiency that was common knowledge in Camp Bastion by 10 a.m. the next morning. Shining a torch from any defensive position towards possible attackers would provide a perfect aiming marker for said attackers, so it also demonstrated great courage by the Tongan soldiers. But that torchlight from a guard tower 250 metres away from the breach point wasn't enough to highlight the attackers, and so after a brief pause they continued undetected. To illustrate the importance of night vision, on my last duty in Guard Tower 11, at approximately 9 p.m, I observed a figure crouching in a ditch on the far side of the public road. Approximately here, our defences and reactions being tested. I immediately radioed the guard commander to ask permission to illuminate the valley with a mini flare. We had to ask permission because we'd previously been told not to fire mini flares because it disturbs the neighbours. The guard commander refused my request and I was told not to worry about it. 10 minutes later, as the figure from the ditch moved into cover of some nearby vegetation, I radioed the guard commander again and asked a second time to illuminate the valley, just to show potential attackers that we were observing and would react to suspicious activity. My request was refused a second time.